In the headlines, 4 students celebrating end of West African secondary school certificate examination at Lagos Beach drown. 18-year-old students of College of Fisheries Technology arrested over attempt to kidnap provost in Niger. National Union of Electricity Employees shut down Transmission Company of Nigeria regional station in Kaduna. And on the foreign scene, multiple bomb explosions and arson attacks rock southern Thailand. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. This hour, I am Nten Ekpang. And now on the news in full. We begin on a sad note and report that tragedy struck on Tuesday at the Elegushi Beach in the Lekki area of Lagos State after 4 teenagers drowned while swimming in the water. The 4 were among 10 secondary school leavers aged between 14 and 15 who went to swim at the beach to celebrate the completion of their West African Senior School examination. They were said to be pupils of the Kuramo Senior College, Lekki. The spokesperson for the Elegushi Beach Management, Ayuba Elegushi, in a statement said the pupils were not properly registered. He noted that the incident happened at an unmanned section of the beach not open to the public. The victims were said to have raised the alarm as the water swept them away. Elegushi said some lifeguards plunged into the water and brought out 6 of the pupils. The spokesperson said the 2 boys that were arrested told the police that they were chased from the beach before sneaking into the restricted area to swim. The State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hondein confirmed the incident, adding that investigation was ongoing. And still in Lagos, a shopping mall at Ligali Ayorinde Junction, Victoria Island in Lagos, was on Wednesday gutted by fire. The inferno started in the early hours of Wednesday in one of the shops where combustible items like tires and car batteries were stored. The Southwest Coordinator for the National Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Farin Loye, confirmed the incident. He said the fire has been brought under control after officials of the state and federal fire services battled to put it out. The cause of the inferno is yet to be ascertained. Farin Loye said an investigation was ongoing and the report will be made available upon completion. Another batch of 174 returnees from Libya has arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The arrival on Tuesday was the 12th flight of returnees to be repatriated through the Lagos airport, with about 2,044 Nigerians so far already returned. Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, who was represented by the Lagos Territorial Office Coordinator Ibrahim Farin Loye, received the new batch alongside other officials of the federal government. The returnees are 69 female adults, 5 female children and 10 female infants, while there were 75 male adults, 12 male children and 3 male infants. NEMA said 23 arrived with minor medical cases. Detectives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Niger State have arrested an 18-year-old student of the College of Fisheries Technology, New Busa, in Borgu local government area of Niger State, Umar Imam, for allegedly threatening to kidnap the provost of and other staff of the college. The suspect was alleged to have written a letter threatening to kidnap the provost and some staff of the college before he was detected and apprehended. The public relations officer of Niger State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nasir Abdullahi, said the suspect was arrested after the commandant of the command, Dan Terry, received the information and directed men of the Intelligence and Investigation Unit to get him arrested. He said the suspect, who hailed from Gonage village in Edati local government area of Niger State, was apprehended in the school and had confessed to the crime, but his accomplice, one Umar Babadoko, was still at large. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday swore in the newly appointed chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, the RMAFC, Mohammed Bello Shehu. The new RMAFC chairman was administered an oath in the council chamber of the State House in Abuja just before the president presided over the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. After the brief ceremony, Mohammed told reporters that although the task ahead of him is daunting, he is certain that the commission will assist the Buhari-led administration to block leakages, generate more revenue for the federation, and implement his constitutional responsibility. As one of the 14 constitutional commissions, the RMAFC chairman maintained that he will ensure that the commission's independence is upheld as enshrined within the Constitution. The suspended General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, Joyce Oduor, has filed a suit at the Federal High Court, Abuja, against the association, its national executives, and the Inspector General of Police. In the suit filed by her counsel, Murtala Abdul Rashid SAN, Oduor is challenging her suspension from office after an emergency meeting held by the National Executive Committee on Monday, the 15th of August 2022. She claimed that her purported suspension as the General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association NBA, pursuant to the resolution of the emergency meeting of the National Executive Committee of the NBA held on 15th of August, is unconstitutional, null, void, and of no effect whatsoever. This, she said, is because the suspension violates Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, Sections 239, 242, and 288 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Constitution of the Nigerian Bar Association 2015 as amended in 2021. The Catholic Archbishop of Jos Archdiocese, the Most Reverend Matthew Ishaya Aludu, says he has accepted the apology tendered to the Catholic Church by Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State on his reference to the Pope while recently talking about his appointment as the Director General of the All Progressives Congress APC presidential campaign. Lalong had said the Pope was not opposed to his appointment as the Director General of the campaign. These assertions angered members of the Catholic faith who were displeased with the dragging of the name of the Pope into Nigerian politics. But the governor thereafter tendered an apology to the Catholics for his remarks. In spite of these, some sections of the church have been given different conditions for the acceptance of the apology. Archbishop Aludu, however, accepted Lalong's apology on Tuesday in his homily at the 19th General Assembly of the Archdiocese of Jos held at the St. Louis Parish in Jos. You're watching News Update reaching you from Trust Television. Coming up after the break, why price of Gari remains high. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news update reaching you live from Trust Television. Let's take a recap of our top stories. 4 students celebrating end of West African Secondary School Certificate Examination at Lagos Beach drown. 18-year-old student of Fisheries Technology arrested over attempts to kidnap provost in Niger State. Moving on to other news, hundreds of residents in Guru local government area of Yobe State are forced out of their residences following a flash flood that took over the entire Zangon-Kanwa area of the town, destroying main businesses. Trust TV's Idris Jibrin reports that residents say they no longer feel safe due to increasing threats of building collapse as a resort to using local boats to access their homes.
Houses abandoned, businesses destroyed, and residents attempting to salvage what remains of their property around Zangon-Kanwa, Unguru local government area of Yobe State.
Honestly, this water is disturbing us. It has been disturbing us. Not only us, anybody that is passing through this road, this water remains a problem. In fact, even the mosque that we used to pray, we can't pray in that mosque any longer. Our parents have left their homes. They are also gone. And we have been complaining to the authorities. The local government chairman was here to see this place. Even the commissioner was here to see this place. But up till now, nothing has been done.
Following a recent downpour, residents say a flash flood overpowered their drainage system, leaving many homeless around this area. Over the last 30 years, Zangon-Kanwa area has been experiencing flash flood due to the lack of drainage system. Despite the community's repeated complaint to local government authorities, every year they had to deploy local boats as means to cross over from one part of these streets to the other.
Ruwan garin anan da ma yake taruwa wanda idan ya wuce kuma ana iban ai kasa ai birki a gurin to yake taruwa.
For me, I'm living in this area. I'm doing my business in this area, and this water has remained a problem for us. Each time, each rainy season, this is how we stay. We leave our business, we leave our houses, we leave everything around here, and nothing is being done to help us. Right now, as I'm talking to you, most of our families, some of them are at the filling station, some of them are at the mosque, and many of them, we have sent them to their relatives because we don't have a place to keep them.
Meanwhile, chairman of Unguru local government area confirmed that efforts are ongoing to assist the affected victims and ensure that everyone returns back to their homes.
We have been working on drainage system across Guru local government, and as I am talking to you now, His Excellency the Governor has sent a special committee to come and investigate the recent flood and provide a permanent solution. We are providing relief materials to anybody that is affected by the flood. In fact, 2 trucks of relief materials have already arrived Guru from Damaturu, and we are waiting for the rest to come. Then we start distributing them to all the affected victims.
Well, this is not a bush, neither an outskirt of a town. It is at the heart of Guru local government area of Yobe State. And residents say they can no longer access their homes. Everywhere is covered and it's overpowered by water. But they are waiting for authorities to come to their aid so that this water can go away. And while they wait, their suffering may likely continue to increase. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Yobe.
The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has launched the 2021 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, MICS, and the National Immunization Coverage Survey Report, the NICS. Launched in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, the event was held on Tuesday in Abuja, as Chamunda Beng reports.
MICS, which is developed by UNICEF and implemented by NBS, provides data on child mortality, health, nutrition, child and social protections, sanitation and hygiene, while NICS assesses vaccination coverage provided through health systems.
Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, with over 20% of the indicators required for tracking the SDG being sourced from these big surveys. On the survey itself, this round is particularly interesting and fascinating. This is the first time that the survey will be conducted since the advent of COVID-19 in Nigeria.
Today's event marks yet another milestone in the annals of our history on the collective efforts towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in Nigeria by the year 2030. Let me at the outset state that the 2021 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey and the National Immunization Coverage Survey has its main focus on the household, major attention on social development and household information, including the well-being as well as inclusive growth of women and children.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was represented by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed.
These two reports will continue to serve as a major source of data in establishing the baseline for measuring progress on the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, focusing on key relevant indicators across several sectors. It is significant also to note that since the conduct of the last multiple indicator survey and the National Immunization Coverage Survey in 2016 and 2017, which is a 5-year survey, concerted efforts have been made by the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari to address the data gaps reported in the 2016-2017 report, which has led to massive investments in the healthcare sector, with particular emphasis on primary healthcare delivery and immunization coverage. The education sector also is not left behind. Unfortunately, the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus and its different variants in 2020 led to some slowdown of social economic activities across the globe, including in Nigeria. However, the government of Nigeria continued contain the impact of the negative impact of the pandemic by proactively putting in place necessary measures to address the severity of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The survey, stakeholders believe, will help government plan better for policies captured in the affected areas. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, Gari is arguably Nigeria's most patronized staple food and is popular with every class of the population. And despite being consumed by almost all, not many are familiar with the process of converting cassava tubers into what is known as Gari. In this report, Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade highlights the process of making Gari and the challenges facing Gari producers as price soars in recent time. His report is presented from our studios.
Easy to prepare and cheap to buy, Gari is one of the staple foods in Nigeria that cuts across all tribes. It is the creamy, granular flour obtained by processing the starchy, tuberous roots of freshly harvested cassava. The Yoruba people of southwest region of Nigeria make eba from Gari and eat with okra or egusi soup. Gari can be soaked in cold water and consumed with milk and sugar, plus or minus roasted granules. Gari is predominantly a preoccupation of locals in villages and communities. A Gari producer at Owodede in Osun State, Shakiru Akinola, explained the process of making Gari from cassava.
The process of making Gari is not long and not difficult. So the first thing to do is to go to farm and get cassava. After getting cassava, we bring it out to this Gari processing industry here. So they will now peel the Gari the cassava. After peeling, they will wash the cassava to make it neat so that all the sand will come out from it. So after washing, they will take it down to the grinding machine. The grinding machine is to make the cassava grinded. After you grind it finish, you will pack inside the rice sack. After you pack inside the rice sack, you leave it for some days to allow the water to come out. After 3 or 4 days, you take the cassava down to jacking machine. You bring it out to sieve the cassava with this ashe. So after that, you put inside the fire to make it fry. After making fry, that is how you get your gari. After that, you can drink it gari, or you make with eba with it, or some other food that you can make gari with.
Another producer, Bojubola Mojere, says she makes gains sometimes and record losses also, depending on patronage by consumers. People should buy gari for personal consumption. I have plenty of gari in stock for sale. You too can buy gari from me after this interview. That's how you can help me. We need more patronage now because of the quantity in the store. The inflation has affected patronage. In the past, when we produced gari here, people would buy everything same day. But it is not so anymore. Most people are broke now and angry. May God help us. Despite the recent increase in price and seeming lull in patronage, many believe that with time, buyers and sellers will reach a compromise due to the importance of the staple food to Nigerians.
In business, members of the National Union of Electricity Employees, NUEE, have withdrawn their services at the Kaduna Regional Headquarters of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, in line with the directive of the union's national leadership. The TCN Kaduna Regional Station covers 4 northwestern states of Kaduna, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara. On Wednesday, NUEE officials picketed the Mando TCN station in the Kaduna State capital, shutting down operations and thereafter forcing workers out of the company's premises before locking the gate with their own key. The electricity union is protesting the non-payment of outstanding arrears owed to former workers of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PCN, suspension of conditions of service and career path for workers, and a directive by the TCN board to conduct promotion interviews for acting principal managers who are moving to assistant general managers. Now, British consumer price inflation jumped to 10.1% in July, its highest since February 1982, up from an annual rate of 9.4% in June, intensifying the squeeze on households according to office figures. The increase announced on Wednesday will do nothing to ease the Bank of England's concerns that price pressures may become entrenched. Despite warning that the recession was likely, the Bank of England earlier this month raised its interest rate by 0.5% to 1.75%, its first half-point rise since 1995. It forecasts that inflation will peak at 13.3% in October, when regulated household energy prices are next due to rise. Wednesday's figures from the Office of National Statistics show that prices rose 0.6% in July from June on a non-seasonal adjusted basis. Another foreign scene, explosions and fires ripped through at least 17 locations in southern Thailand on Wednesday, authorities said, in what appeared to be multiple coordinated attacks that injured 7 people. The bombings and arson attacks happened after midnight and targeted convenience stores and a gas station across 3 provinces, likely injuring at least 7, according to police and military statements. No one has claimed responsibility for the attacks so far. Provinces in southern Thailand along the border with Malaysia have seen a decades-long low-level insurgency in which the Thai government has battled shadowy groups seeking independence for the predominantly Muslim provinces of Pattani, Yala, Narathiwat, and parts of Songkhla. And in sports news, former Manchester United captain Gary Neville has called on forward Cristiano Ronaldo to break his silence on his ongoing transfer saga, insisting that the club is in crisis. Now, Ronaldo had threatened to lift the lid on the truth relating to his transfer standoff with Man United in a bombshell interview in a couple of weeks' time. This comes after multiple reports that the Portuguese captain is desperate for a move away from Old Trafford this summer and wants to join a club that can give him Champions League football. But Neville, who won 3 English Premier League titles with Man United, said Ronaldo should speak the truth now rather than waiting 2 more weeks for the transfer window to shut. And with our story on Ronaldo and Man United, we come to the end of the news update this hour on Trust Television. For more, do connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Inten Epang. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.